questions.
Ask.
Know anything about this salamander prisoner?
Why would I tell you? The captain would kill me.
Maybe I can persuade you.
Powder would help.
Got a cold?
Got a cold?
You're pretty green.
Not so green I don't know the best way to take Fistek. Fold back your skin and rub.
Where?
Where you can fold back your skin, Jethro.
If you buy Fistek from Coleman at the Hairy Bear, don't say
I'm gonna presume he means on your dick. You pull back the skin on your dick and put it there. That's the only place I can think of that you can pull back your skin. And that's presuming you're not circumcised. I don't know how common circumcision here is here in this world. I'm gonna have to go grab the fucking Fistek to actually get on and out of this guy. I'll ask as much as I can, then come
I
back.
have questions.
Ask.
If Foltest put a reward on the professor's head, he must detest Salamandra.
It's not royal gold. Privately funded.
Interesting.
There's also
Yes!
payments for salamander badges taken from dead bandits.
Who is this philanthropist?
I can't tell you, but the sponsor's representative spends his evenings at the tavern.
I'll check it out.
Dumbass.
I have questions.
Ask.
A parcel's missing from my belongings.
But glad you're not doing extra time for it. We've confiscated it. Don't mention it to the captain.
Damned thieves.
Oh, that quest is kind of fucked. Unless the guy already gets it delivered to him. Or I can get it off him if I give him the Fistek. Why am I going to question Vivendi? I kind of lost track, you know, honestly. Oh, I'm a game. These fangs, dog tallow. Do I have to kill many more? I don't like killing dogs. Suspect. Yes. Yeah. Sneezing. Well, turn knocker. Oh, I've only 2. Sorry, Pooch. Come back here. Don't mind me. Girl, it's the dog catcher. You know the medicine woman? Well, our friend. You know, I'm taking issue with her. It was red over there, so I was worried. This is her house. I'll visit there at some stage. The woman in the front is a pain in the fucking rear end. Wait. Remember the alchemist? His house. Can get a couple more quests off him. He's likely downstairs. When I came here, that's where he was. First, this is where he was. Actually, wait. He's likely in bed considering the time. Oh, no one has issues. In fact, you know the medicine woman? The medic girl.
Geralt answers my call.
We meet again.
I need your
Wait.
help again.
I visited her late at night, and
Something that could prove a mild
she was in like
alchemy.
wearing very little, if not like straight up lingerie. She was just standing there completely,
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
like just as if she wasn't, just talking with you like normal.
You had a job.
Help me fulfill my life's work. A tower stands in the forest swamp near Old Vizima.
A princess up top, dragon below? Thanks, but I'll pass.
Silence, please. Legend says a mage and alchemist built the tower. No princesses or dragons.
So what's my job?
The mage died ages ago, and the tower was forgotten. The power within it attracted and deformed nearby creatures.
In short, it breeds monsters?
Precisely. I want to examine that source, Witcher, and write a dissertation certain to immortalize my name. I'll have access to secrets that have been hidden away in that tower for years. Unfortunately, the tower is locked. I'll pay 1,000 orens to whoever helps me get in.
I'll see what I can do, though I'm sure this won't be easy.
I'll see what I can do, though I'm sure this won't be easy.
Were it easy, I'd not need you. Breaking into a powerful mage's lab is complicated. We must
think he's
gather
glitching into the
detailed
bat.
information on the tower.
Where do I find it?
In the tales and legends recounted by elders and swamp folk. In old books, too. Recorded wisdom is infinitely more reliable.
Any specific titles in mind?
Ransant Alvaro's The Secret Gates, and an alchemy treatise, Ain Soph Hour. I know a certain dwarf had a copy of The Secret Gates. The second book, written by an anonymous gnome, was lost long ago, and could be hard to find. While you search for these, you can test my newest invention, a crystal that links places of power and my workshop. It will allow you to teleport, disintegrating your being into billions of pieces that travel beyond the time-space curve.
And then it'll reassemble my being in your lab? Sure about this?
There is some chance of error, but it's minimal.
That's reassuring. Let's wake him up again. Are you sure it wasn't sleep?
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
I'm here about the notice.
You have Al Ghul Marrow?
No, I have ghoul blood.
No, I have ghoul blood.
Ah, yes. From the outskirts, right? No
There it
matter.
is.
Do you have it?
Here it is.
I
Dad?
don't actually need it anymore, but I'll find some use for it.
Did I still get paid though? Fine. And I apparently dinged as well. Okay. Use a thing for algals, cremators, and devourers. A book? Basics of alchemy. Alright, good to know. He also sells it there for 70. A small book of minerals. Oh wait. Oh, he sells the book of the Tawny Owl. Which can be purchased from alchemists. Don't know the point in buying that. Spectres, Noonwraiths, and Nightwraiths. Wyvern, Basilisk, and Cockatrice. And Necrophages. Algals, Cremators, and Devourers. I think it could be a Devourer or an Algul. Where I was saying it was a new enemy, and I was pointing out a place. The Tome of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I think that's a reference. Let me check. I think I presume that is a movie, so I think I successfully made that reference. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Whoa. Yes. May as well. What? Oh, male and female wyverns. Oh, that's good. Noonwraiths, night wraiths. Good, it gave us some details on these stuff.
Might Rubido be
Don't know what
better?
he was saying there. Monsters. Algul. Oh, that was a new one. Anyway. Alguls are ghouls that have been devouring corpses for so many years that human flesh becomes irresistible, and they begin to prey on the living. They are seen in crypts and on battlefields, frequently surrounded by ghouls. Simple folk do not notice the difference between these two scavengers, unlike witchers who know that an Algul is a more aggressive and challenging opponent. Barghast, a basilisk. Simple people call the basilisk the king of the Zarkanian deserts, and often mistake it for a cockatrice. They claim that the beast is filled with such hatred for all living things that even its breath is venomous, and its gaze turned the unwary to stone. In fairy tales, the only way to kill basilisk is by holding a mirror in front of its eyes to divert its deadly gaze. Witchers reply it is far better to smash the mirror on the creature's head. And they actually have poison and whatnot. Well, much like the other thing. Wild Hunt. Yeah, actually, we were meant to actually encounter it at one stage, but I think due to our choices, we never did. We were meant to be attacked by a thing that looks like Leo, if I remember correctly. The Wild Hunt appears in disguise as a harbinger of war and misfortunes. Some believe it to be simply a magical phenomenon, and not a horde of spectres. Elven sources refer to it as the Red Riders. There's no information about its immunities or susceptibilities, tactics, whereas the Wild Hunt do not have to fight. They simply inspire such terror that people cower after a mere glimpse. There are known instances of abductions by the Wild Hunt. Alchemy, vapors of the hunt. The Wild Hunt is a horde of spectres that roam the sky during the storms and is an ill omen of disaster. The appearance of the Wild Hunt foreshadows war and woe as much as the comet does. The spectre of the Wild Hunt sometimes appears in nightmares of the cursed or those touched by destiny. Yeah, people in real life use it to fear comets bringing war or disaster. I believe I remember something related to the Greeks in that belief. I don't remember the details exactly though. So again, look into it. If you're interested enough to actually remember that anyway. Okay, so this is like a Gravitor. Much has more been written about ghouls and Graviers, since they are encountered by common people in times of war and cemeteries. Crematories are rare, but when they appear in a necropolis, they take it over. All ghouls respect and must bow to them. And they give their jaws white vinegar and abomination lymph. A devourer. Oh, thank you for covering your nipples. But those two dots end up having the same effect. Devourers are often called night witches, which is actually the name for a Soviet bombing squad. They were all-female bomber pilot, a group of all-female bomber pilots who used older planes to bomb targets, bomb wherever they're told to bomb, and they would even apparently turn the engines off to glide, so they'll be stealthy. And apparently the sounds that their planes will make reminded the German soldiers of like witches on brooms. So that's how they end up getting their name. I remember Sabaton made a song about it. And it's in their new album, Heroes. Anyway, because they resemble old ugly women and are famous for their witch-like viciousness, these creatures gorge themselves on human flesh. Although they willingly eat carcasses, above all they crave flesh that is fresh and warm. Devourers hunt after dark in groups that peasants refer to as sabbats. They like to deceive their victims and torture them, but there's no truth to the tales of their midnight flights on broomsticks and gingerbread houses. Cool. Night Wraith. One second. Night Wraiths appear on fields and meadows. They can be found after dark when the moon is high. They are specters, but at the same time maintain strong connection with the natural world. They can see the living but cannot understand them, because the dead cannot hear the living. Immune to blinding, poison, pain, and bleeding attempts, they are fearless. Sensitive to steel and spectre oil. Silver, and spectre oil. They're able to grasp the moonlight and blind their enemies with it. Death dust, shadow dust, and ectoplasm. Night wraiths are born of moonlight, wind, and the earth cooling after the heat of the day. They rise above the ground and whirl in a mad dance, and should not be seen by any mortal. If caught peeping, the mortal is blinded by moonlight and taken into the circle and forced to dance until he expires, at times becoming a night wraith himself. That's creepy. Noonwraiths haunt cultivated fields and meadows. They always appear when the sun is high. They're specters, but they're able to grasp sun rays and blind their enemies with them. Death dust, shimmering dust, and ectoplasm. Noonwraiths are born at high noon out of the heat, sadness, and the sweat of plowmen. In the hot air above the fields, they gather to dance madly, creating air vortexes. But unlike the specters, dislike being watched. Those who peep are forced to dance with them. Noonwraiths stop their dance when the sun goes down, once the abducted mortal is long dead from fear and exhaustion. Bastards. Royal worms. Royal worms are larger and more aggressive than their common cousins. They live in the wilderness, often in mountains, as they like to build their nests on precipices. They attack any creature entering their territory. They're resistant to stun, poison, and they're generally fearless, sensitive to steel and ontosaur oil. They dive at their opponents, trying to knock them down, poison them with venom. They're more covered than common worms, and thus harder to defeat. They have toxic and wing membranes, as well as venom glands. The female royal worm is smaller, but more cunning and venomous than her male counterpart. She can be aggressive towards both males and other females. She is a perfect example of how gender relations among humans have their source in the animal world. This is altogether not surprising. Master Orgagray against the Institute of Marriage. Here I'm going to start talking about worms in this book against marriage. Wraiths. Ooh, that's cool. Wraiths haunt places where they have died or were buried. They're specters which do not belong in this world. Sometimes they're summoned by magic, but more frequently unfinished business makes them linger in our world. They're immune to blinding, bleeding attempts. They're fearless and immune to poison, pain, and knockdown attempts. They're sensitive to steel and spectre oil. The suffering experienced by a wraith makes the wounds it inflicts more painful. Death, dust, and ectoplasm. To get rid of a wraith, you must find its body. Try searching on hollow ground, or in the corner of the cemetery where its outlaws are buried. When you dig up the corpse, you'll discover it is not rotten, and there's blood on its lips. Pierce the corpse with an aspen stake, cut off the head, and place it between the corpse's legs. Okay. Make the head look like it's giving the corpse, performing cunnilingus on the corpse. Good to know. To make certain that the wraith will never return, set the corpse on fire. One false step will mean your demise. Wyverns are unlucky to be frequently mistaken for dragons. Seeing a reptile approaching a flock of sheep, peasants panic. They expect it to breathe fire, massacre everyone, and abduct their local versions. While it is true that wyverns hunt sheep, they neither breathe fire nor waste their whole villages. And are completely indifferent to virgins. I like that line. Mass village orgy, peasants have by default will not save them.